As a rough estimate, how will we manage the budget part of the KA210 projects? So what kind of strategy should we follow while writing to increase the chances of our budget being accepted? Normally, you have two options for KA210 projects. You can choose either 30,000 euros or 60,000 euros, depending on the structure of your project. If your partnership structure is 3 or more, then choose 50,000. If it's 3, or if you don't know, let's say 4 is the maximum. If your mobility number is 2 or 3, then you would choose 30,000. If it's 4 or more, I recommend choosing 60,000 euros. The chances for the 60,000 option are a bit higher. Now let's say we chose 30,000. How many mobilities will you have? You have 3 partners or 4. You divide 30,000, 4. The numbers that come out after division are a rough calculation for this. Calculate the travel cost per person as being around 300, 400 euros, and for the number of days. Also calculate the nights we will be staying. For each day of stay, you can allocate about 150 euros. Let's say you received 120 euros. How many people will come? Let's say 5 teachers and 5 students. You can calculate the accommodation expenses by multiplying the total number of 10 people by the number of nights, which gives you 100 euros. At the same time, you would multiply the total number of people coming by approximately 400. Let's say you divided the remaining amount by 4, or say 60, which makes 30,000 into 15,000. The remaining part from 15,000 can initially be allocated to the coordinating institution and then distributed to the partners, thus forming your budget as institutional support. You can also briefly list the items for institutional support in the budget section, such as stationery expenses, organization fees, and language support, to create a rough budget for the K210 project. Of course, this should be done in detail. You can create a rough budget for the K210 project by briefly writing down sections such as stationery expenses, organization money, and language support under the institutional support items in the budget section. Of course, in detail, you can break this down into the smallest details by calculating and figuring it out like this.